So tonight I'm really excited that I had a memory of a thought that I had many months ago, but I had forgotten that I had the thought, so the thought came back and I am going over it right now. And that is, I had some kind of daydream or something in which I found myself being stranded on an island. But for some reason, I was someone who had a lot of money. Like, I remember in my vision, I had my own aircraft and also a helicopter. So it's like if I decide that I want to go somewhere, instead of driving a car, I would be flown there. Like the helicopter would land in my house, and if I wanted to fly to, let's assume that I'm just the owner of a very successful company, I could be like, I don't feel like driving in traffic, so I'm gonna have my pilot come home, lift me from my backyard and like the heliport, and take me to the heliport on the roof of my building where I work at. So then I thought, what if somehow I am traveling, let's assume by air, and my plane crashes, and I somehow make it to the shore of a completely deserted island. Let's say that my pilot survives. It doesn't matter if he does or doesn't. It's irrelevant to the point. But let's say that somehow the catch of the story is that no one knows that we went down. No one knows that we're missing. No one notices that we just disappeared, which with radar, this is impossible. But for the sake of the story, just believe me that somehow they don't know that we are lost. Just somehow. Well, as much money as I have in the bank in this fantasy world of mine, there's no amount of money that I can pay to be comfortable in that circumstance. Let's say that my pilot and I, or I by myself, somehow survive for an entire month. Of course, my mom knows that I'm missing, my boyfriend knows that I'm missing, but they just don't know of my whereabouts. So they may even start assuming that I'm dead. But just because I have a lot of money doesn't mean that, like in my city, I can call and have a helicopter arrive, have myself being taken to the airport to like go on a private plane or something. I don't have my commodities, the commodities that my money supplies me with. So in a situation like that, if I'm stranded on an island and no one knows I'm there, somehow I ended up with my cell phone broken, or all means of communication are broken, so there's no way to find us. It's like no amount of money can get me, first of all, access to my money, because I don't have, say, a phone to purchase things. I don't have a computer. I don't have an ATM in this stranded island to withdraw money. And why would I need an ATM on a stranded island if there's no one to conduct business with? So I may be a multimillionaire, but I cannot buy myself food. I cannot take myself somewhere where I can take a shower. I don't have shelter. I have to make everything start over from scratch. And I don't have food. I'll have to either succumb to the circumstances that I have found myself in, or I am trusting that my survival instinct will just kick in, and stuff that I never would have thought about eating, I will be eating. So, you know, just because I have all of that money, it's not doing anything for me in this tight situation. So that's the point that I'm trying to illustrate. This is where the title of the video comes from: situations where money is literally worthless. So Another circumstance that I can think of where money is worthless is, say that I somehow end up in a civilization that does not have a form of currency, a system of currency established. So it's like I may have $20 and I may go to a mart of some sort, but the person there only accepts for you to trade another object for you to get whatever goodie it is that you want to get. So it's like instead of the person running the business being like, that'll be $2, $20, they'll be like, that'll be a goat, please, or something like that. Or I'll take a kitten's paw as a form of payment, something crazy like that. Or it'll be a very smoothly edged pebble or something, just crazy stuff. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't have that for you. So I guess that's called bartering. So if that system was implemented, there's no way that I have a way to negotiate, because I cannot even begin to imagine what people consider to be of value. And if everything is valuable, how do I measure its value to make a fair exchange? You see? And then finally, the other circumstance that I can think of where money would literally be worthless is if you are diagnosed with a terminal condition. So, like, no amount of money can purchase for you the proper treatment for you to be alive for much longer. Or say that you lose a limb or you lose an eye. Yeah, you might say, you can get a prosthetic. But let's face it, it's not gonna be the same. It'll never be the same experience. So yeah, you guys, I know this is a completely weird, strange rambling. I guess everything that I do in this channel is. But can you guys think of any other situations in which money may become worthless like that? I honestly cannot think of another circumstance. Usually emergencies is what makes that a thing, like say when the Titanic was sinking, and then in the James Cameron movie they had what was his face, Ismay, trying to tell Murdoch, don't you know who I am? And he was like, you're a passenger and I'm the bloody officer. And then Cal also went back to Murdoch and he was like, we made a deal. And then Murdoch throws the money back at him and he goes, your money will not save either you or myself. Which is true. The ship is sinking. What is giving someone cash going to do for them? It will not ensure his safety. So that's where I'm coming from, or trying to get to in this video. I would love to hear what you guys have to say if you can come up with another situation in which money would be worthless. Because that's why I like to say, I like to live my life, it's modest, but I like to pretty much make every day have meaning, because you just never know what's going to happen. And if you spend your time just gathering resources, what guarantees you that that'll ensure your comfort? You may find yourself in an emergency and you lose everything. So how do you pick yourself back up from that, Anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll see you soon. Be nice.